Lies with a Straight Face is the definitive story of the ex-gay conversion therapy industry's implosion. The book is available everywhere. Today, we present an in-depth conversation with Wayne about Lies with a Straight Face. While you were at the Human Rights Campaign, you photographed ex-gay spokesperson John Paulk in a gay bar. Take us back to that scene.
In 1998, the religious right launched the Truth and Love campaign and put ex-gay advertisements across the country. And the biggest star of this campaign was John Paulk. He appeared with his wife Ann on the cover of Newsweek. He had been on Oprah, 60 Minutes, 2020. Everybody in America had heard John Paulk's story of transformation from gay to straight. So imagine my surprise when I got a call from Daryl Hershaft, my colleague at the Human Rights Campaign, where I worked at the time. And he said, "Get down to the bar, Mr. Pease, right now. John Paulk, the king of the ex-gay ministries, is in the bar and hitting on me." So I ran down as fast as I could. I almost got run over by a taxi. And I slowly approached the creaky paint chip door. And I slowly opened it, very nervous, because this would be huge to expose the biggest ex-gay in the world. And I opened it, and by God, there he was, John Paulk, his lie about to be exposed. And I crept up to him very slowly. And then he looked up. And all bedlam, all hell broke loose. And I held up my camera, one of those old-fashioned cameras used to buy at the drugstore, and click. And I said, "John Paulk, is that you?" And clicked it. And you should have seen his eyes. And he was stunned that he had been busted. And then he tried to take my camera from me. And I pushed him into a cigarette machine. And then he left the bar, and I followed him out. And I said, "John, how do you live with yourself going to a gay bar after going to an anti-gay conference? How many young people have you harmed with this hypocritical, pathetic behavior?" He didn't answer me, obviously, but he did admit the next day that he was at Mr. P's. First he said, "Oh, I was just going to the bathroom." And then he said, "I thought it was a straight bar. There were men and women in there." Well, the only women in there were in drag, so there were no actual women in there. It was the biggest scandal of its time, and people still talk about it today. And it's an emblem how ex-gay ministries don't work and how they are fraudulent. And those who claim very loudly that they have changed really haven't.
You have described your work as being like a prosecutor in court. Explain what you mean.
I see myself as a prosecutor in essence, prosecuting a case against ex-gay ministries and conversion therapy. We need to lay the foundation to fight back. So 5 years from now, 50 years from now, we have a case that people can go to. So when they go and Google on the internet and does a search on conversion therapy and ex-gay ministries and wonders if they should put their child in such programs. And we have produced such an enormous amount of compelling evidence that they choose not to and say, "I don't think this is a good idea. I think this is going to harm my child." And that is what Truth Wins Out and my work is about. Help us fight ex-gay lies. Truth Wins Out monitors, researches, and exposes the ex-gay conversion industry. Support us and learn more at truthwinsout.org.